Hey everybody, it's your girl G here. What it do? What's up? I'm in a good mood today because I'm up. I got eyesight. I'm living. Sometimes we take the little things for granted. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's on your girl's channel, everybody who's helping your girl, following me, who's been here since the get-go. We're now on our way to 4,000 subscribers. We have passed 3,000 subscribers, you guys. So I just want to say thank you to all of y'all while I'm on this journey of self-discovery and self-healing. Okay, I'm just living life, y'all. But anyways, along with living life, we got naps and snacks, everything that's getting your girl through it. Okay. But yeah, you know what else is getting your girl through it? Watching reality TV, and we're Housewives of Atlanta. I mean, it's been on the list. It ain't on the top of the list, but I am glad to see that we are finally at the end of the season. This season definitely, the production for me is who effed it up. Like, production is definitely either time for new production, new cast, but leaning towards new production. But let's go ahead and get into the episode because there's some stuff to discuss. Okay. So we open up with Cynthia. Y'all see Cynthia's kind of getting back in it. She's kind of, I bet that pisses Nene off. Okay, because Nene, she just, this is the house I built. Da da da. Cynthia, she fake. She basically called Cynthia fake on the interview with Carlos. So to see Cynthia back on the show that she's dying to get back on, oh, I know that chaps her. Okay, I know it do, and I'm kind of here for it. Like, I really, really am. But yeah, Cynthia, her divorce is finally finalized. We know Mike ain't, but at least he's not just an a-hole that Kenya's having to deal with. Even Cynthia's like, all right, girl, I've been married and divorced, and you still trying to get a divorce. But the problem is, Cynthia, she's not dealing with a man like Mike, where we both came in with what we got, we're both gonna leave with what we got. She's dealing with a man, a psycho, who's trying to make every day of her life hell. And we know men like that. When their woman finally decides to get up and leave, they don't like it, because the plan is, in the patriarchy, wait a minute, you're supposed to stick through me and suffer. Because remember, ride or die loyalty, I'm the man with potential. You're supposed to stick through it, till I figure my shit out, or I decide that I finally want to get my shit together, or I don't, and you're still supposed to suffer through it, because that's what women do. Yeah, men like Mark are just a-holes. Like, that literally is the only thing to put it. So he's making Kenya's life harder. But girl, Kenya, let's chop chop. Let's try to figure out a way to get this closed, okay? Don't you, having another baby by that man should be off the table. Speaking of baby, Sonya, she goes into the doctor's office with her husband. Y'all, her husband fine. And the fact that he in Austin has my bells ringing a lot when he be gone all that time and coming back with gifts like Rolexes and stuff. Kind of make me look my good eye like, Ross, I'm looking at you, okay? I'm looking at you, just to let you know. But he's still fine, all right? He one of the good looking house husbands. But they go in, and Dr. Jackie's like, I swear this was a pediatrics hospital. Like, what's the baby boy doing here? And she's like, oh my God, he's here for the baby. She's like, well, how much does he know? She's like, everything. And you saw on Dr. Jackie's face kind of like a somber, kind of like everybody typically knows that you really don't say anything about having a baby until after the first trimester. And unfortunately, we will see on next episode the exact reason why, because the first trimester is just kind of very iffy on pregnancies, especially Sonya being an older woman. Like, just avoid that type of emotional roller coaster if possible. So you saw in Jackie's face when she's like, oh, how much does he know? And she's like, everything. Like, you could tell Jackie's face was kind of like, But, Jackie, boy, I tell you, she all of Atlanta's. The black woman in Atlanta is going to Miss Jackie. That's why she got this big old house with her man in it, Curtis. He living large, retired. All up in this big ass house that Jackie is affording. I still don't know how I know he retired, but what did he do to be able to just sit back? Like, is he sitting back on Jackie's dime after he done cheated on her and had that woman stroll through Atlanta airport? But nonetheless, this ain't about Married to Medicine, which is coming on soon. Ooh, I'm so excited. But yeah, back to Atlanta Housewives. Yeah, she checked the baby. Basically, everything's looking okay. She's 5 weeks. And we're gonna keep pushing. So Drew, she is at the set. We're on the set of The Past. They're trying to get it done in 10 days. And when I found out that it was at their house, y'all, I rolled my eyes. Just, ugh. This is where I get annoyed with Todd, because I get it. You don't always want to spend money. But in true, just in true business fashion, you gotta spend money to make money. And you're letting us know what type of movie you want for this to be. How truly, what kind of film do you want this to be? You talking about, oh, I need this film to make it, but you're not acting like it. You're not casting like it. You're not producing like it. Like y'all's bedroom, Todd, just for you can, oh, we could, at least 6 figures. Okay, but getting a location, he tried to be, oh yeah, Tyler Perry, he films on his own, but Tyler Perry built his own studios. That's why he filmed on his own, used his own stuff. I'm just confused. I can't stand this, because if you're a person who watched Candy in the Gang, you know that Todd still got the people sitting at Old Lady Gang with a generator, without a generator, and that bitch lose power. He talking about 2 to 3 times a month, and he's still on buy a generator. So that just goes to show how much Todd just be cutting corners. So to find out that he did that at their house, it was just here we go again. Todd, if you want this movie to be big, spend money like it, okay? But Drew, she's basically sitting down talking to Candy, basically oh my God, she's giving the, oh my God, it's just, I'm just so nervous. This is new for me. Not only is it my first sex scene, but it's my first sex scene with a woman. And Candy basically is we have an intimacy coach, because a lot of people honestly don't know too that these sex scenes on movies, they really are choreographed. I watched a behind the scenes movie thing, and they really have somebody come in and be okay, you're gonna kiss her here on the table, then you're gonna move over towards the bed, and then once y'all get to the bed, then you'll get on top of him. They be choreographing the dude, okay? So yeah, so the intimacy coach, I guess that made Drew a little bit more comfortable. Manetta, she there. This is the thing, see, Todd, you casted Manetta, and Drew, I get it. She's an actor, somewhat she could be in the movie, but it's just when you see Manetta and Drew and just all these housewives in the show, it's just kind of Todd, what you really want out of this? For real. For real. But they watch Drew on camera. She's giving, she's giving porno tease. And, they was here for it. They Drew acted her ass off, okay? In that lesbian pile with a little bit of munch, that baby a munch, okay? She was in there doing the do on camera. Manetta, she was talking with Candy. And they ended up bringing, Drew's retreat. And they actually, it was a good retreat, but they were but Courtney came in there acting a goddamn fool. Basically, she allegedly called Drew a bitch. And then so Manetta pulls up the clip, and they watch it. By this time, Drew's come over, and they watch the clip, and Drew's and Courtney, she's this bitch said, and she pointed to Sanya. I don't know why we're making this any more difficult. She didn't call Drew a bitch. She called Sanya. Am I tripping, y'all? I feel I'm in a delusional world that we're actually watching something on camera proof, and people are still acting like that's not what happened. She literally pointed to Sanya, and said this bitch pointed to her. Y'all dropped on the comments am I missing something? To y'all, did she call Drew a bitch or did she call Sanya one? Like, drop down in the comments, okay? But nonetheless, Candy made me laugh because she was saying, like, either way, whoever she called one, Courtney talking about, oh, that's not her language. But girl, clearly it is. She was like, bitch. Like, at the end of the day, Courtney, quit playing. Like, quit playing. So they do one more scene by that time Ralph gets there, and she's getting ready to actually do her next scene. And so she's going in there, she's going over her lines and stuff like that with her assistant Danny, and then Ralph comes, him being passive aggressive, like throwing digs. You gonna squeeze out of there, like, with your old egghead shaped ass. His head is shaped ugly. So Ralph basically starts asking typical man questions. Oh, how's it going? Oh, for real? Like, are y'all kissing? Like, so did you make out with her? Oh, really? Like with tongue and stuff? And Drew is just kind of like, here we go. Ralph is acting extra Ralph because it's not just a sex scene. It's a sex scene with a woman. And we know how men are. They just get all just blood starts rushing to the wrong head the minute they start thinking of, like, as Ralph said it, thespian scenes. And so it kind of like annoyed Drew because she's like, dang, all the stuff you asked me about, you ain't asked me about nothing else but this. Like, so basically it just kind of made her feel like he not taking it seriously because he ain't. And Ralph had some slick stuff to say when he was like, yeah, when she's gone doing her stuff, it's chaos and I have to pick up the extra pieces. Right, that's what a husband's supposed to do. It's chaos when Drew does it. It ain't never a problem when Drew does it. So why is it like Drew can do it, so why can't you? Like, that's the thing really about men. I really want them to shut up about saying they want to be fathers because y'all want the title of fathers, but y'all don't want to do the parenting. Y'all want to leave the parenting to the moms, but y'all want to be dads, come in and do the last little bit or do one little itty bitty thing and be like, I'm a father, I'm a dad, I'm a father because I came home from work. Nigga, but did you come and help your kids with homework after? Did you come and give your children a bath? Did you come read with them? That's what we need to work. That's fatherly type stuff. But that's another conversation for another day. But yes, Ralph, yes, it probably is chaos that Drew is gone. But as a husband, pick up the pieces and don't use it as ammo against Drew because we know that's how he does. So yeah, she's like, I ain't never seen this much. I ain't never seen your back teeth. Like, he was just grinning, like, oh, for real? And she was like, yeah, and she was kind of down there, and he was like, she was eating you out. Like, Drew, you try to act like she not trying to say what it was, and Ralph was like, she eating you out. Like, she was like, yeah. He was basically kind of like, oh my God. Like, and she was just kind of like, I'm just ready for him to go. She's like, I'm just ready for him to go. Like, I want to take this seriously. But y'all, she did say something a little messy though too when Ralph it was either Ralph or her assistant, and she kind of was like, I'm not gonna do this. She's like, just kind of how things are looking and everything. Like, I'm definitely not gonna do nothing else unless it's lifetime or lifetime or above. But she's like, I'm gonna take this check, that Candy give me, and I'm gonna do my job. So I'm guessing the check was enough to make you ignore the fact that clearly she felt like this shit was low budget. Because why am I faking orgasms in Candy's bed? Candy's actual bed. Like, that to me was just kind of like cheap, like tacky to me, y'all. Y'all drop down in the comments. Y'all feel like, oh no, it's a money move, like Todd was right to save money, or he should have, actually shelled out, the ducats to make it a decent production. Like, how do you guys feel about that? But yeah, no, Drew definitely threw some shade in there. I tell you, Candy, she always is finding ways to try to help people out and put them in stuff or just kind of like help elevate their career. And most of the time, the shit get thrown back in Candy's face. But that's why Candy winning, because at the end of the day, she does stuff at the good of her heart, and she always is trying to do good to other people, and that's why she gonna always be all right, because God is watching over his child. Okay, the covenant of Candy. Let's go, Covenant of Candy, okay? That's why she got ducats in that career, that music writing career, and that Broadway career is, is booming. So Sheree, she meets up with the party curator or whatever, the decorator, and she's like, oh my god, Mecca, the baby, I just want balloons. He talking about, so what's the budget? She's like, there is a budget, but no budget. And it's like, budget or not, bitches, you paying. Because what it's giving is, she brought this decorator in, and it's giving, I'm going to give you this platform over Housewives of Atlanta, and bitch, you better show out. Like, that's what it was giving. That's really what it was giving. It's giving, you got time to be on camera, and make it do what it do, okay? If it ain't that, then we'll see in about a month or two that the person basically was like, Sheree found this wrong with it, this wrong with it. Oh my God, I wasn't happy with how this was set up. Even though the whole party, she's like, this is beautiful, this is beautiful. She's still gonna find some shit to complain about when it comes time to get that invoice, okay? So it is, what else happened? I feel like something else happened before the party. I talked about Drew, Sonya, Kenya, divorce. Yeah, I feel like that's it. So, we get to the party. Sonya, she show up first, go back there. Sheree still getting all glammed up. Sonya just like, okay, she know how to throw a party. But I tell you, when we see Sheree's Chateau Sheree, we see the house and we see the parties that she be throwing. Where is the money coming from? We worried about the wrong thing. We ain't worried about how Marlo's paying her stuff. We got that figured out, okay? We know it's but a handful of things with Marlo. But for Sheree, what loan did she take out? What convict gave her the money for the house that she was dating? What PPP loan did she get? Like, how is Sheree affording this home? How? It's not making any sense. For real. And she's parties like this, bare minimum 10,000-15,000. Because them balloons, that type of balloon party, them balloons ain't cheap, y'all. And then she had flowers everywhere too. Like, for real. But nonetheless, y'all drop in the comments where y'all think Sheree get her money from. But nonetheless, Sonya gets there first, checking on her. Everybody starts strolling in. They waiting around the party. Everybody's like, okay, now where's she at? Candy out there. She's like, this definitely is a party for Sheree. Like, this ain't about no damn baby. Like, the baby was just like a means to an end, okay? Sheree wanted to, as she said, throw a glamour party. It's about Mecca, but it's also about me too, because I'm gonna be a glamour. And it's just kind of like, girl. But yeah, she showed up. Everybody been sitting there waiting. By this time, the shit's supposed to start at 4, but now it's 6:15. Still ain't seen Sheree. Sanya told the girls that Sheree was like, I'm not coming out till everybody get here. So they all go into like the room or whatever. Sheree finally come down. She got this long ass red dress on. She taking pictures and stuff like that. And Martell, y'all, he come. Martell finally get there. And it was funny. She was taking pictures. She was like, what took you so long? He like, 5 kids. Yeah, for Sheree, did you forget that nigga got 5 kids? Okay, did you forget one of them? He was trying to hide from his wife. You forgot about that. You forgot he has to get his kids situated when it's his week because his mama's tired of watching his damn kids for him. Did you forget about that? Because Granny is tired over there on Love and Marriage Huntsville of watching his kids. So who else gonna watch him? Ariane. That's literally the only person. Who else is watching the kids? If it ain't the grandma, it's gotta be Ariane. Cause he don't want to prove Melody right about the whole kid situation. But nonetheless, when she was like, what made you take so long? He's like, 5 kids. Yeah. But yeah, Martell gets there in his salmon croquette suit. All the ladies, they were like in the room. Sheree comes through, everybody's hugging her, and they were like, it's beautiful. Kenya's friend Akela or Akila or whatever, she came in a beautiful like baby powder blue like suit with pearls, super beautiful. Wasn't part of the color theme, but it was still pretty. Everybody looks really good though. Oh y'all, I knew it was something else I forgot about the shower, about the party. Marlo and her damn fake ass foster kid stuff. I appreciate, the foster system. My mom was in the foster system, so I definitely know all about it. But I just don't like Marlo and the fact that she's just kind of like the way she's using it. Like, I don't like it. Scott Lee, he showed up with no tie on. And Marlo's like, yeah, the girls, I just want to make sure they show up for me. Girl, you be on all these girls' ass cakes starting beef and drama and fighting with them. Why would they show up for you? So Sheree, Sheree and Sonya, that's her alliance. So Marlo was like, Sheree better show up for at least 30 minutes, and Sheree showed up at the very end, okay? But she showed up, I guess. But yeah, back to the party. Everybody was there, and Drew called Candy and was like, hey, I'm outside. She's like, okay. She's like, but I can't come in. Drew was like, I literally pulled up as Anthony was walking in. She's like, God was looking out for me, because like, had I been a second later, I would have seen that fool was in there, and I would have walked clean into this setup, because it was a setup. Oh, it was a setup, y'all. That was a setup, okay? If we ever seen one, they asked Sheree why she invited Anthony, because Anthony last year was saying that Sheree basically was broken and still had to pay people. It's real funny how that work out. How Sheree one minute, like, this dude was talking mad cash money shit about you, but then all of a sudden she said, no, he's the reason that basically me and Martell got together. I don't believe that. How many of y'all believe that Anthony is the reason that her and Martell linked up? Because everybody's saying truly was Carlos, and I could believe that. I feel like Anthony's just she's giving him the credit, because obviously Carlos don't want that credit for that fake ass shit. But she was like, yeah, Anthony introduced me and Martell basically, and so we've been hanging out ever since. But Drew caught it. She was like, I'm not going in there. That man assaulted me. So Candy run back upstairs to tell Sheree, and was like, girl, like, Drew not coming in, somebody here that she don't get with. And he overheard it. It was like, ain't nobody worried about that wide back asshole. Like, he went off immediately. And everybody kind of was like, here we go. He definitely is one of those gays that, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly. Let's not play. He's exactly them gays that loves for the drama, loves for the flamboyancy of it all. He was like, ain't nobody worried about that wide back ass, like her wide back line of her marriage. And she was like, Katie was like, so you ain't fight her? You ain't throw a shoe at her? He's like, I threw a shoe at her. She threw her cheap ass purse at me. He's like, the only reason I'm mad at her is because she owed me a coin, and she lied about her husband, and all this type of stuff. She need to apologize to Ralph. He was going off immediately. So if that was just Candy, imagine if Drew was in there. Like, we know how it would have went down. Finally, Sheree and I was like, okay, yeah, like, Candy was like, yeah, I might not get along with Drew, but I'm on the side of, like, people who want resolution. And Anthony, he definitely was on that bullshit, like, for real. So, finally, after that, Sheree bring out the damn baby. Baby sleep and stuff, just nodding off, nodding off while everybody looking, taking pictures, all types of shit. The baby mama was just hanging behind Sheree, just, girl, give me my baby. So yeah, they take pictures. The baby falling asleep. Bob, his ugly ass was there, ogre looking ass. He's just so So Sheree's taking pictures. All of a sudden, he's like, oh, this is Candy. She get up to the pictures. Everybody's like, who the fuck is this? Like, who this girl? Like, is that a baby we don't know? A kid that we don't know about? Is that his girl? So Sheree ends up calling over Martell, and they asked, Sheree's like, who is that? And she's like, I don't know, I thought it was some girl, so shit, I pulled Martell up. Why are you competing with Bob? Like, this man tried to choke you out, so why does it matter? But finally, Candy calls over Bob and was like, who's that? He was like, oh, that's my daughter. Everyone's like, your daughter? How old is she? He over there trying to make the math work, talking about 3 years younger than the oldest. So a middle child, and Sheree's like, when we got together, he told me he had two. So it's like, you dog ass niggas, like y'all literally proving the point of why women be struggling to be quote unquote submissive to y'all, trust y'all, be in relationships with y'all, cause of shit like this. Bro, this man had a whole nother secret baby, y'all. A whole nother secret baby. Really? Candy was like, I knew this man since I was 19. Like, here he come popping out with a baby. So Sheree's like, introduce me. Like, who is this? He's like, Sheree, Candace, Sheree, you know, meet daughter. Daughter? She's like, yeah, I just want to say, I've been meeting up with Kylie and Cairo, and they've just been really great. And Bob even said, he was like, yeah, she started coming around later. And so Kenny's like, so you knew about her? Or, and he got quiet. Kenny's like, yeah, he knew about her and didn't say nothing. Like, this shit right here is madness. Like, for real, for real. Like, come on. Like, having secret babies. When niggas y'all do stuff like this, and really have the nerve to be, like, acting like women don't have a reason to be upset. And y'all call it, quote, unquote, bitter. This that shit we be talking about. So, yeah, Bob ugly, ogre looking ass, lazy eye looking ass, wide back built, just turtle looking ass. He got a daughter. And they all huddle Sheree like, girl, she's like, I had no idea. And so they get to the picture and she's like, he wants you back there and still ain't gonna be shit. Cheese. And took the picture. So I'm just kind of like, oh my God. But yeah, that's where the episode ended, y'all. Next week is the finale. We see Ralph and Drew get into it again. The unfortunate, baby situation with Sonya and the divorce, y'all. We finally see the divorce come through. And Ralph, he keep trying to play in the therapist's face. What else do we expect? But yeah, you guys, I really appreciate you for tuning in. Y'all tell me about the episode. Y'all feel like Sheree gonna pay for the party? Was Todd being cheap? Filming at his crib. And what do who? You know what? Never mind. We'll talk about that next episode. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. Follow my Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.